time is 6:15. Here is the news edited by Catherine Pereira, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. It has been expressed that the national program to increase the food production in the country is needed. An agreement has been reached to establish National Council with the participation of all political party leaders. US assures support for restructuring Sri Lankan debt. Special category for fuel quota increase to be tested on selected entities. Foreign news, the Russian president says West sanctions fever wrecks European lives. Local news in detail. The debate on the child malnutrition level was conducted in Parliament for the second day today. Joining the debate, Minister Ramesh Pathirana said that everyone in the health sector has shown their dedication to safeguard the health condition of the people of the country. The nutritional level has been collapsed due to the present economic situation. Therefore, a national program to increase the food production in the country is needed to commence with the support of national organizations. Parliamentarian Harini Amarasuriya said that a nutritional issue has been created in the country as a result of the economic policies that were implemented since decades. Parliamentarian Ajit Galapat said that the nutritional level are being changed on district level. He also requested to appoint a parliamentary select committee in this regard. It has been agreed to establish National Council with the participation of all political party leaders for the reconciliation of the economic and social issues in the country. The decision has been taken at a party leaders' meeting held in parliamentary premises under the patronage of Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. It will be chaired by the Speaker. The Prime Minister, Opposition Leader, Leader of the House and Government Whip have become officially members of the National Council. The members of the Council stand as 37. The relevant proposal in this regard will be submitted to the Parliament soon. The United States Secretary of the Treasury, Janet Yellen, has informed that the U.S. as a credit nation will participate in restructuring Sri Lanka's debt. A press release issued by the President's media division stated that the critical need for the full cooperation of all official creditors in debt negotiations and restructuring through timely participation and equal burden sharing have been outlined. The U.S. Treasury, welcoming President Ranil Wickremesinghe's proposal for a coordination platform for Sri Lanka's official bilateral creditors, has urged engagements in this regard. Sharing the common goal with Sri Lanka of expediting financing assurance, the U.S. has expressed readiness to join other Paris Club members in this process, in keeping with the principles. Further, the U.S. Treasury has pledged to continue to engage with their other government agencies as well as the World Bank and Asian Development Bank to assist the people of Sri Lanka. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with more local news. Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Vijayasakara says that a special category of fuel quota increases is expected to be tested on selected private and public sector entities this week. This was decided at a meeting held with the development partners and stakeholders this morning to review the National Fuel Pass QR system. Meanwhile, the tourist fuel pass and non-vehicle category are slated to be introduced next week, the lawmaker added. Speaking further, Minister Vijayasakara said that the filling station code would be added from next week to the next message generated when obtaining fuel in order to prevent the illegal use of National Fuel Pass QR code. That ends local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The government says a clear policy has been taken in the agriculture sector to face the food crisis in the country successfully. As a first step, fertilizer has been provided to the farmers. Minister Mahinda Amaravira stated that it was able to cultivate paddy in 512,000 hectares of land in the Yala season. The government has also decided to pay compensation to farmers for damages that has been caused to their paddy cultivation in last season. He made these remarks participating in the Subharate program of the SLBC today. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, the health sector has notified the public that there will be an increase in dengue with the onset of the monsoon rain. It has been reported that there are as many as 53,901 dengue cases in the island. The majority of the cases were reported from the western province. Therefore, safety measures should be followed to prevent the spread of the dengue menace. That ends Watchlight. Moving on to world news, let's take a look at the headlines. The Russian president says, West sanctions fever wrecks European lives. 7 drowned in flooded South Korean car park. Vietnam karaoke bar fire kills at least 14 people. World news in detail. Vladimir Putin has condemned the West sanctions imposed because of Russia's war in Ukraine as a fever that poses a threat to the entire world. In a speech to an economic forum in Vladivostok, he said Russia was coping with the West economic aggression. But the Russian president warned the quality of life for Europeans was being sacrificed to sanctions while poorer countries were losing access to food. He also said Europe was cheating poor countries out of Ukraine's grain. 7 people in South Korea have died after they were trapped in an underground car park during floods caused by Typhoon Hinamno. They had gone down to move their cars but got caught by the incoming torrents. Crews said they rescued 2 people who reportedly survived by clinging to the ceiling pipes for more than 12 hours. Typhoon Hinamno, the strangest cyclone storms this year so far, hit South Korea earlier this week. Rescuers had to wade through the waters of brown water to enter the almost completely submerged basement on Tuesday night. At least 14 people have died and others injured after a huge fire at the karaoke complex in South Vietnam near Ho Chi Minh City. The fire broke out on the upper floor of the establishment last night, trapping several customers in rooms at the time. To escape, 4 people jumped from the 2nd and 3rd floors, local media said. They were injured but survived. Firefighters reached the scene shortly after alarms went off. Rows say the blaze took just under an hour to bring under control. Investigators are still determining the cause. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The Russian president says West sanctions fever wrecks European lives. 7 drowned in flooded South Korean car park. Vietnam karaoke bar fire kills at least 14 people. That ends world news. Moving on to sports news. President of the Sri Lanka Football Federation, Jasper Uma, said that they hoped that under-17 South Asian football tournament will be provide contribution to the country's economy. Bangladesh, India, Maldives, Nepal and Bhutan will compete at the tournament. A group of representatives from the World Football Association have arrived in the country. A discussion between them and Sports Minister Roshan Ranasinghe has held recently. That ends Sports News. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest from NSB. Now extended till the 30th of September just for you. Your short-term deposits receive an attractive interest rate of 20% in 3 months and 22% in 7 months. Visit a bank branch or a main postal office today. NSB, the only bank with 100% government guarantee.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Labudu Paddy Research Institute in Galle has found a new variety of paddy that will provide more harvest within 3 months. This has been found after a 12 years long research conducted by the institute. That ends Business News. Business News, sponsored by
the fastest way to earn the highest interest from NSB. Now extended till the 30th of September just for you. Your short-term deposits receive an attractive interest rate of 20% in 3 months and 22% in 7 months. Visit a bank branch or a main postal office today. NSB, the only bank with 100% government guarantee.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
It has been reported a slight increase of arrival of tourists during July. The central bank said that a slight income has been reported on foreign investment in state securities market and the stock market. That ends Economic News.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
Moving on to weather report. The Met Department says that several special showers will occur in western, Sabaragama and northwestern provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Mathura districts. Strong winds above 50 km per hour can be expected at some places over the western slopes of the central hills. That ends the weather report. To wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. It has been expressed that a national program to increase the food production in the country is needed. An agreement has been reached to establish National Council with the participation of all political party leaders. US assures support for restructuring Sri Lanka debt. Special category for fuel quota increase to be tested on selected entities. Foreign news, the Russian president says West sanctions fever wrecks European lives. That ends the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka.